College of Health Sciences, but this is your second day with the College of Law and Management Studies. As you've noted, we are discussing understanding the handbook. And yesterday I gave you all a homework activity to do. You had to go and you had to find your curriculum for your degree program. So if you were a BCom accounting student, you needed to find your curriculum. I said 3 to 4 pages, 5 pages the most that you'd have to find. And you needed to go through your undergraduate curriculum, which the academics will discuss with you tomorrow. But I want to draw your attention to a very key aspect of that handbook. And I want you to write these pages down. It's pages 11 to 13, academic monitoring and exclusion information for students. So academic monitoring and exclusion information for students, pages 11 to 13. Okay. Now, these policies and these documents are available to you to review and to read. They're quite academic, quite dense, but you can understand them. So in a very simple way, I'm going to try and summarize what these policies mean, how it will affect you and affect your studies going forward. I'm going to try my best not to scare you. I'm going to try not to scare you. But remember what I said yesterday? When you are forewarned, then you can arm yourself. Arm yourself means to prepare yourself for success. So I'm discussing these policies, and I think the word exclusion should worry all of you. And that is the idea. It's a warning about exclusion and possibly being excluded if you do not focus on your studies. Right now, as first years, first time entering new students, F10s, first years to the college, we welcome you and we're happy that you've made it. You've passed 12 years of prior basic education schooling. It's your primary school education, your secondary school education. You're now at a university level. It's your tertiary layer of schooling, and it is your highest layer of schooling. It is your undergraduate qualification, which hopefully we will get some of you moving on to your postgraduate qualifications as well, your honors, your master's, your PhD, if you are so inclined. So let's look at that undergrad academic monitoring and support policy and procedures for exclusion. Right now, as first-year students, all of you are deemed to be on good academic standing. You've come into the university, you've been registered, you're going to start your first day of lectures next week, Monday. I want you to take your lectures seriously, your tutorials, your practicals, your SI sessions very seriously. Form a study group, compile a study timetable, which your mentors will help you with. As we mentioned to you yesterday, you will each be assigned an FYE mentor, a first-year experienced mentor. They will assist you and guide you to formulate a study timetable. So you need your semester timetable, which plots all your modules. Included in that semester timetable, you're going to put in your study hours and your leisure hours, and the FYE mentors will assist you with that. If you follow religiously your semester study timetable, all of you seated here today will be successful to pass your modules so that you do not underperform and start a risk student. Now, a risk student means that you're beginning to underperform. And you will notice at the end of semester 1, when you get your results, you're a risk student in Student Central and under Student Central, and your FYE mentors will take you through to Student Central. There'll be a color code. The color code will be orange if you're a risk student beginning to underperform. If you continue to underperform in second semester, the color code on Student Central will change to a red color, which means you are now a probation student. You are severely underperforming, and we don't want that to happen. So what I'm asking all of you to do is to be and maintain who you are as you came in as matriculants. Right now, you've got no color code. You're not orange, you're not red, you're just who you are, and we want you to remain and stay that way. You've successfully passed your 6, 7, or 8 subjects at matric. You will have for this year in your undergraduate degree program for the different degrees, you may have a total of 8 modules for year 1, which is level 1, which is all your modules for first and second semester for certain degrees. Some of you will have 10 modules you'll need to complete this year. Others will have 12 modules you'll need to complete, depending if you're in a 3-year degree or a 4-year degree. If you attend to your studies, your lectures, your tuts, your pracs, your SI sessions, you stick to your study schedule, you all should be passing with the 50%. So we should not have anybody being color-coded orange or red. You just remain who you are. Obviously, the aim is for you to try and achieve a 60% average. A 65% average is even better. If you really, really excel, you then can achieve what's called a 75% average, and you'll be deemed to be a Dean's Commendation student. This is a student that also has a color on the academic monitoring and support policy. It's a blue color, which shows that you're doing exceptionally well. And these are the students, and some of you will be there. In fact, all of you can be there if you choose to be there. You can get scholarships. If you get your 75% average, scholarships vary. Some may want 70, some 75%, some 80%. So depending on the scholarships, you can then qualify for that. I will again put the document under support services in the College of Law and Management Studies. You'll see the document will be labeled scholarships and bursaries. You can contact the individuals responsible for the scholarships and bursaries. I'll put it in the chat box at the end. So now you've got different colors I've mentioned. I've mentioned the orange and the red, which you will not become. Blue, yes, we want you to become blue because you're now a Dean's Commendation student, 75% average. There's another color code, purple. Do not go there. That's excluded. So you can only be excluded after a full year at university. So maybe from next year, you can be excluded. We don't want you to be excluded. We want you all to be here with us. You've done 12 years of hard time schooling in the basic education sector. You are now at the tertiary level. We want you here. We want you to be successful. But as I said yesterday, you have to believe in yourself. You have to do it. I'm going to upload all those documents that I uploaded yesterday. I want you to download those 4 handouts, those 4 documents. And I want you to review those 4 documents in the afternoon when you have time. So you can do it offline. So since you've got data now, you're online, I'm going to upload those 4 documents. And I want you again to review them, especially the one that says ways to achieve success in your studies. If you follow those 21 plus guidelines, you should pass. University is very different from the secondary schooling system. And this will be highlighted by our 2 alumni, Kelsey and Intando, who will come on towards the end of today's session. So our 2 are students who have come through the University of KwaZulu-Natal. They've also done your degrees. They will talk about their challenges, how they've overcome their challenges, and how you should follow their example to be successful here in your undergraduate qualification. So as I've said, I'm going to conclude now. You remain who you are with no color coding. You will pass all your modules for your first year. Semester 1, 13 to 14 weeks from Feb to the end of May. June is your exams. July, your 3-week holiday. Semester 2, you start in the last week of July, goes up to the end of October. November are your exams, and then you get your results again, and you will be passing all your modules. You will remain who you are with no color coding because you are passing. I will also upload the sessional dates for 2025. So please look at the sessional dates. It outlines your calendar for the year. Sessional dates are your semester calendars for the year. Semester 1 comprises when lectures start, when lectures end. It tells you when the study period is. It tells you when the exam period is. Where your vacation periods are in July for 3 weeks, your Easter vacation period. It tells you about your Michaelmas or your September vacation period, and it tells you about your December vacation period. So I'll also upload the 2025 sessional dates. Please download these documents, review them, and become familiar with what's happening at the university. If you have any questions for any of the speakers, please put it in your chat box, right? And we'll try our best to answer them, right? So please put it in your chat box. And tomorrow is very important. It's linking up with understanding the handbook, the academics from the school. So law, students for law will go into the law Zoom link, and the academics from law will speak to you about your LLB degree, your Bachelor of Laws, tomorrow. Students with a Bachelor of Business Science and the BCom Accounting degree will go into the School of SAFE to that Zoom link, and there you'll be told about your curriculum for those degrees. And students who do the BCom General degree and the BBA degree, Bachelor of Business Administration, as well as the B Administration degree, BCom Law degree will go into SMIG, the School of SMIG. And that's the Zoom link that you will go into to listen to the academics talk about your curriculum for your degree, okay? So now I'm going to hand you over to Nkulisi, and he's going to go back to the college handbook, and they're going to show you and talk to you about college rules, okay? Thanks, students. Nkulisi.
Morning, everyone. Morning, Ms. Naidu. First of all, I'd like to greet our esteemed guests, managers, and everyone at large that have been so doing. I would like to say Nganganensi Bazayo, that is greeting everyone in every position of the society that they hold. Thank you, Ms. Naidu, for the introduction, and thank you so much for sharing with our students. First of all, I'd like to welcome the students to the University of KwaZulu-Natal, one of the best universities so far, and I believe that we'll be with them throughout their academic journey, and they will also be doing well and build a name for themselves as well in the society and become one of our alumni whom they will be able to share their journey to other students as well and pass on the baton. So today I'll start by sharing with you the basic rules and the rules which I believe that if I knew these rules when I came to university, my life at least would have been a bit easier, and I've been able to navigate university life because some of these rules I started reading or studying them and applying them, seeing them apply in my life over the years in my second to third year level. And if I got to know them in my first year, I think I would have been able, to at least do well in some of my studies and avoid some of the consequences that can come with not following the rules. So the University of KwaZulu-Natal have general academic rules, and some of the rules, they include college rules, exemption, registration, and they also go to DP, that is duly performed, which I'll go into details as we go about our presentation for the day. And then we also have supplementary exams as well, which I will also include them. So as the start of our first semester, it is very crucial for you to start understanding some of these rules as they will start applying throughout your academic year, even in your second and third level and your final year. And even some, it will also apply a degree. So each college has its own set of rules depending on the selection process, the attendance of modules, curriculum work, etc., etc. But one of the important rules, which I believe that as a student, it is crucial for you to know, would be the exemption rules. So from modules, as some of the first year students, they are not doing their first year. So some of them, they come from other universities, and some of them, they will, yes, they come from different universities and they'll be doing their first year at the University of KZN, of UKZN, and some they will be exempted in terms of the modules because the modules that they were doing in the previous university, they are similar to the ones that they will be doing in their first year at UKZN. So you get an exemption in that case. And also you can get an exemption with credit. That's if it meets all the requirements of the rules that have been set by the university. Then the other exemption which has been happening, or which most students they get into, is if you did Nguni language, you get an exempted from Zulu 101, which is applicable to most students if you did not do a Nguni related language, which is isiZulu. And that's when you get an exemption if you did isiZulu back in high school, and then you get exempted from doing that module. So the other rule would be in terms of registration rules. So with registration rules, they differ, and they differ in terms of in how you register as a student and other circumstances that may have applied. So one of the rules I would like to go about in terms of registration would be when you come to a university as a first year, you register because you've met the requirements that are required for you to be able to enroll in that degree. You meet the requirements or in terms of the funding processes that are in place as well as a student. And that means it gets approved for you to register as a student. So that is the registration period. So over the years and when time goes, you get to register for first semester and second semester. But depending in terms of as you progress along the university life, if you do meet the requirements of you to register as a student, either for that module or for the degree purposes, if you're meeting the minimum requirements that are required. So for a module, there are modules whereby there are prerequisite modules. Those are modules that if you do your modules in the first semester, you'll need those modules to progress to the second semester or to even progress into the second year modules. So sometimes if you do not do well in one of the modules, you'll find out they might stop you or hinder you from doing some modules in the second semester, which are core modules, or some modules in your second year and going forward. So it is very important that when you do register and upon being done with registration, you also do well in your modules as well in time so that you can be able to continue registration. So the other one would be in terms of registration, so you can suspend the registration depending on the circumstances that you might be facing as a student. So you are able to pause your studies either for a semester, and then you're able to apply for readmission as well once you're back after suspending some of the activities. The other one in terms of registration would be you not meeting the requirements of registration in terms of the modules. That would be you not meeting, not being able to pass the required number of modules to pass. And then as Ms. Naidu has mentioned, that there are color codes within the university, that is green, blue, yellow, and red, orange and red, sorry. So depending on how you move along the codes, especially with orange and red, those can lead to exclusion. And then once you're excluded within the university, you might take a semester or two, and then you'll have to stay at home before you can be able to register. And also in order for you to register again as a student, you'll have to appeal and you'll have to go through counseling, etc. There are different stages whereby you need to pass through in order to be able to continue with the registration as a student. And this applies mostly for your undergrad degree. So ensure that as you continue with the university life, you do well in your studies so that you avoid things such as academic exclusion, as it might hinder a lot of things in your life and it might hinder progress. There are some rules also in terms of readmission in terms of registration that also need to meet, that you are required to meet as a part-time student. So it differs as well as you go. Then the other rules would be you being able to meet the minimum required fees. So the university has a percentage in terms of the fee that you owe as a student. And within your undergrad, ensure that as well, you should ensure that you do well, and then you get to apply for bursaries and other funding as well, so that you are able to continue with your studies without any disturbance or financial exclusions whereby you owe the university, and that might hinder you not being able to continue with your studies as well, and ensure that okay. So the other rule would be concurrent registration, which I believe that a lot of students they would like to know about it. That is, the university does not allow you to be registered for more than one qualification at the same time. And this also applies while you are also registered within the University of KwaZulu-Natal. So you shouldn't be registered at the University of KwaZulu-Natal and another university within the same year or at the same time. And that is, it will have to be approved as well, or you'll have to consult with the relevant parties. However, according to the general rules of the university, they do not allow you to register for two qualifications at the same time. Then the other one in terms of our generals would be DP, which you'll see as you move along the first semester. And I think most people, they start waking up when it comes to DP at the end of the semester. So DP is when is the minimum requirement that is required for you to do to continue into the writing exams. So if you do not do well in terms of DP, which is duly performed, which is one of the requirements in each and every module, that you should at least have a minimum of 40% in order to be able to continue to go and write your exams. If you do not meet the minimum, what could happen, two things, it could be that you might not be able to continue in terms of writing your exams, or you can appeal as a student in order to be allowed to write your exams for that particular module. So it is very crucial that you ensure that you meet the minimum required duly performed, which is your DP. That is, you need to start doing well from your first test on the go until the last test and prepare well for exams so that you meet the minimum required for you to continue into writing your examinations. And with DP, it is crucial that you meet the minimum and you do above and beyond the minimum that is required, so that it also assists you in your examinations as well, because it adds a value to your exams within that module. So if a certain modules requires you to do well in maybe your DP in terms of the contribution of your test can contribute 50%, and then your exam can contribute 50% towards your final mark. So it is very crucial that you ensure that your test, as they contribute to your DP, and they also contribute well as well to your final marks. So it is very crucial that you do well from the onset, so that you meet the minimum requirements to write your exams, and also ensure that it also adds value to your final exam. Other one would be the exams. So as I've mentioned, with exams, you need to do well from your DP in order to continue writing your, as if you do not do well with your DP or in your test and you end up not meeting the required percentage, which is 40% to write your exams, you might not be allowed to write your exams, and that is you not being able to pass the module, or it could happen that you get allowed to appeal. So do not wait for you to do bad in your studies. Ensure that you do well, and ensure that you run away as possible from having to appeal for DP. So the other one, which is almost the last one in my presentation, would be the supplementary exams. So the supplementary exams, also the minimum would be you having met at least 40%. Below 40%, it is failed. That is, you're not being able to meet the required percentage for you to write your supplementary exams. So what happens is that if you meet the required percentage to write your exams, to go into writing your exams, and then it ends up you not being able to do well in your exam, that is, you move to supplementary exam, which is the last chance for you to write exams or to pass that module. So it is very crucial that even when we're studying for exams, even when we're doing our DP was on point, and in studying for exams, we ensure that we the supplementary exam for you not being able to, depending, and there are so many things that would be going on in your life as well. And that would be the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for your presentation. Bongeka, are you with us?
Yes, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. So I'll be continuing from the general rules to the bachelor's degree rules. Okay, so these rules are just adding on to what Mxolisi was talking about. I see there are raised hands, but please can you write your questions on the Q&A, or you can just wait until I finish this one. Okay, so this is how it goes. We have 11 rules, which are bachelor degree rules. But if you are doing your honors postgrad, then you would have your rules then. So now, since everyone is a first year student and you're all doing your bachelor's degree rules, we have these 11 rules. So the first one just says that from BR2 to BR6, it's actually for everyone who's doing their bachelor's degree, which is everyone that is here. So we have BR2, which means that to be admitted to study for your first degree, you must have a matric certificate. But if you started outside South Africa, you need a certification of conditional exemption from the Matriculant Board. Also, other additional requirement is that each college may have extra requirements, such as minimum marks in certain subjects, a specific total score based on subjects passed. BR3, which is this one, which is periods of attendance. This one means that in order for you to earn your first degree, you officially registered as a student. Also, you must complete all the required minimum study time set by your college, depending on which degree you are doing. So if you're doing 3 years, then you must have done with that 3 years, you must be done with the 4 years that you're doing. We also have BR4, which is recognition of attendance. This rule applies to students who started their studies at another university or college and want to transfer their credits. So the general rule, as Mxolisi had explained, it says the university may accept previous study institution as part of your degree. However, you must still meet the minimum attendance requirement for your degree. So by minimum attendance, we mean that if your degree takes 3 years, which is six semesters, you must complete at least 3 semesters at UKZN in all your final course unless the college approves otherwise. So it also applies if your degree is 4 years, just like if you're doing LLB, then that means it is 8 semesters. Then you must complete at least 4 semesters at UKZN in order to graduate. Same thing applies if it takes more than that. And then we have BR5, which is progression under conditional exemption. If it happens that you were admitted with a conditional exemption, meaning that you need to complete extra credits to fully meet admission requirements. For example, if you're doing foundation, you must first complete those extra credits first. You cannot register for level 1 to 3 until you feel you meet the full exemption requirements. Also, we have BR6, which is supplementary examination. So if you have failed a module, but you got 40% and above, then you can write a supplementary exam unless the college rule says otherwise. Also, it might happen that you get less than 40%. Then you may also be allowed to write a supplementary exam. But this one only applies in exceptional cases with special approval. So whatever happens, please try and make sure that you do not get anything that is less than 50 to avoid having to going through all the administration of appealing in order for you to be admitted to write your supplementary exams. Also, we have BR7, which is award of degree cum laude and summa cum laude. So we'd really appreciate you guys if you can just get your degree with this cum laude or summa cum laude. So a bachelor's degree may be awarded cum laude with distinction if a student has an average of 75% in the required modules, and all the modules were passed on the first attempt with no supplementary exam. So even if you get a 75%, or when you wrote your sub, that means you're not going to get your summa cum laude or your cum laude. But if you need to get them on the first attempt. Also, if your degree was completed within the minimum time required. Same applies for summa cum laude. A bachelor's degree award may be awarded if you get 80% in the required modules, and all your modules were passed in the first attempt with no supplementary exams. Also, if your degree was completed within the minimum time required. We also have BR8, which is Dean's Commendation. So a student will get a Dean's Commendation for a semester if they take the full required modules in that semester. So if you were to do four modules and you do all of them, then a Dean's Commendation. But only if you pass all the modules in the first attempt, you score at least about 60% in each module and have an average of a 75. And then we have BR9, which is completion of isiZulu module. So just like Nkolisi explained about the exemptions. So in order for you to have a degree in this university, you need to pass an isiZulu module. But if you did isiZulu in high school and your matric certificate has it, it can either be a home language or a first additional language. You will get an exemption. But if you did not do isiZulu, then you need to register for isiZulu in order for you to get degree complete once you are done. Because if you do not do that, that means after you have done you have done your degree and you are just waiting to see a degree complete, it will not be there, and then you will be told that you need to do an extra semester where you just register for isiZulu. Please, can you make sure that you check that before everything? And then we also have BR10, which is completion of first year experience program. So this course is compulsory to everyone that is doing their first year in 2025. So if you are doing your first year this year, as everyone is doing their first year, then you really need to do this one. You cannot do it next year or next semester. It's a yearly module, so you just do it now, and then it's going to end in November. It's not a semester module. Please make sure that you do that one. Same thing applies to BR11, completion of the critical social justice and citizenship module. You also need to do this one. These 2 modules are compulsory for you to do. You can register for PR11 this semester or next semester. It depends on you, but you need to do it on your first year. Also, when you notice, you see that in the handbook, when you open the handbook, okay, let me just go there. Okay, so basically this is written 2025. That means last year they also had their handbook. Also next year it's going to be written 2026. So please avoid by all means that if you ask someone who's doing their third year and you tell them that they say that this module, the critical justice and the FYE module is compulsory, it's highly possible that they're going to say that is not true because in their handbook, it was not there, but now it's 2025. The module is there and it is compulsory for everyone to do. Oh, so thank you so much, everyone. Olisi will come and just introduce our alumni.
Okay. Thank you so much to Ms. Miende for the lovely presentation. So let me show my video so that everyone can be able to see me. I hope everyone can see me. I'm a bit short, but yeah, there we go. You can see me. So before I introduce our alumni, I think, Ayanda, can you please confirm if maybe you can go through some of the questions? Because I see that they are piling up.
With the questions that are currently arising, Polisi, it's basically on mentor allocation, which I believe we can address towards the end of the session. I think you can proceed with the introduction of alumni, and then we'll address questions towards the end. Thank you.
Okay. Where do I start? Okay, welcome everyone. Firstly, I'd like to say we have 3 alumni in our presence, and we're also one of the FYE mentors, 2 of them. We also we have Miss Kelsey, who's present, an LLB, can say graduate. She's doing her honors currently, and she's also one of our mentor. I've worked with her since last year. She's a very determined person. She's doing well also in her studies. I was also surprised that she's a mentor, but also doing well with, given the things that she's doing. She's a force to be reckoned with. Very bright person, open ideas. We've shared a lot with Kelsey last year, which I believe that she will be able to share a journey with you, which is, I believe it will contribute as far as how you look life and how you'll be able to progress going forward. Should I introduce all of them? Okay. Okay. Second one, which is Miss Sibia, Akona Sibia. She's also a force to be reckoned with. She's very calm as well. I think, don't know how she's used to being so calm. She's very calm. She's also involved in a lot of projects. She was our mentor last year. She also graduated as a finance graduate. She's also doing well in her studies. I don't know what to say, but having worked with Akona, I believe she was among one of the mentors that were doing well academically, that were doing well in terms of mentoring their mentees. And she was able to produce one of the best mentees so far, and in their studies as well. She has contributed a lot, and which I believe also in the community, she's also contributing. And our alumni, Ms. Ndando Pewa, Mr. Ndando Pewa, he's, okay, where do I start? He's an accountant. He runs an accounting firm. I think it's about 12 employees, which is the company is growing so well, doing so well. He's a very good person, and I think I've interacted with him for quite some time since 2021. Since 2021, yes, that's when I got to meet him. He has shared with me a lot of things. He has shared with me his journey. He's a very visionary person, I think. So what I have shared with him, he's a very visionary person, and with the way he's moving so far, there's nothing which I believe can be able to stop him at this point. And I believe that he's destined for greatness as well. And I believe that the journey or his journey that he will be sharing with you will be valuable to yours as well, and you'll be able to look up to him. And also I believe that you get to see that in life as we progress and we go through different journeys, there are seasons as well. And also if you put your mind to something, you are able to get it. And if you are determined and claim your things, you're able to get them as well, which is very important. And having a leap of faith as well. Welcome, and thank you so much for honoring our invite as well.
Thank you, Mpho.
Okay, I'll start. I was introduced first. So I am Kelsey Buchanan. I'm a fourth year currently in LLB, so that's a Bachelor's of Law. It's a bit different than other degrees. I automatically go into honors. I don't have to go through the whole process of applying and trying to find postgraduate. So that's the one bonus. Not yet an alumni, haven't crossed the line yet, like my colleagues, but soon, you know, manifesting. So I'll start with my journey. It started a bit different. I was completely online. So you guys are lucky enough that Monday you will start in person. You can meet your colleagues, meet your soon-to-be friends, hopefully for life. So it was a bit different than you guys, but the work was the same. We were very much given the same standard of work. And I think that starts my first piece of advice is I remember my first test, I did so well. It was my first law test. I thought, wow, this degree is going to be a breeze. I'm going to get 90s. I don't know how university students can even complain. This is so easy. I went from doing 8 subjects now to 4. How can you guys complain? Oh, took that mindset into my second test. I think I just scraped a 50. I remember wanting to cry and cry and cry. And you to get up and do it again. So I think coming into this degree or any degree, you come in with confidence, of course, you have done well. If you are in this university, you have most likely done well. However, do not come in with an overconfidence of, I know everything, I can do some of my own. You will crash and burn. So no degree survived on an island. I tried to do that in the beginning. I was like, I'm fine, I can do this all on my own. So mid-year through my feet, I'm struggling with intro to English. You know, I thought so long, how can I struggle? It's completely different. So the lovely thing, especially at UKZN, people are so friendly and open to help you. And that ranges from your peers, your class reps, your mentors, people that are willing to step in and say, hey, I did well in that test, let me help you. Or your mentor, I remember I did English 101, I can help you. So I think the main thing you should take from my fail is that reach out, do not come in with overconfidence, especially in your first year. Reach out, speak to people, get the help before it ends in a fail. So go to your degree knowing that there's always someone to help you and rather help beforehand, before the fail occurs. So then I go into second year, and I kind of had the first year experience in second year. My first year on campus was in second year, and you were kind of thrown in completely first day. There's no more, oh, you first years, here's your little time, your grace period. You will get straight into work. So I think with the law especially, it's a big jump. You will feel it. It's kind of like, I'd say grade 10. You've chosen your subjects now. You officially are accounting students. You're a law student. You need to do as such. You need to work hard. So I think working smart and working hard, like Ngoisi said, I do a lot of things outside of university. So you need to keep up with your studies at the same time and also be involved. You cannot simply just get this degree by doing the degree. You need to be part of clubs, societies, which again, speak to your mentors. They can tell you about it before it even starts, so you can join as early as possible. I think in second year, in first year, actually, I spoke to my mentor saying I wanted to do something, with the university. And she said, join the Black Lawyers Association. You get to speak with legal professionals from the beginning. I joined such. So use your resources like your mentors. They know about all these clubs. They're probably a part of them. Join in from the beginning. So as I said, second year, it's a lot more work. So your time managers become key. Keep a diary, keep a physical diary and a digital one. You need to keep up with everything going on around you. There's going to be a lot more tests and exams, and you want to do well. As they were saying, you want to stay in the green, you want to be the students who are graduating cum laude and summa cum laude. So keep up. Those who keep up consistently will do the best. I can guarantee that all the people I know that are top students, they kept up. They did not let it hold up to the week before the exam, and they are trying to scramble for notes, scramble for what's the scope, what do I do? So that's second year for you, big jump. Third year, even bigger jump. Third year, like grade 11, it feels like you are in a new world. For law students, you will no longer be doing non-legal subjects. You will be doing fully legal subjects. And I can think the similar for accounting is going to be very focused on that degree. You are nearing the end. You should be at a point where you can start understanding the law, understanding accounting. You should be able to give advice even. People are going to start, if you're a law student, just know every week, can I just throw a little something at you? I think I'm getting a divorce. Can you just help me? You're a law student, remember that? So you can't give legal advice, so please don't. But third year is going to be a big jump for most people. So be prepared, go into it knowing that it's a big jump. And again, your time management is going to show this year that if you aren't putting the work from day one, and I truly mean day one, so when you start that first day and they're just doing introductions, you think, oh, it's fine. Open the course outline, which I can explain a bit later. Your course outline is your founding document. It should be what you turn to. So when you guys start next week, you will go on campus, you will have your first class, and the lecturer will say, I'm uploading the course outline to Moodle to learn. This is your everything document. Whenever you have a question, before you even email or message, check the course outline. It will say, we're writing a test on the 15th of March at 8 o'clock on this venue. This is your founding document. So you need to keep up. Again, this is your most important thing for any degree, keeping up. But so third year is all about keeping up and keeping afloat, checking in with your mental health, using university support systems. They are there for you. Seeing the school counselor, they are there for you. The university invests in this for you. And I'm going into fourth year, so I can't necessarily tell you what it's all about yet. I already know I've already got emails from lecturers saying, we start on this date, you've got this due, you've got that. You also apply for jobs as well, keep up. So my best advice is work hard, work smart, keep time management. And lastly, please guys, take a breath and enjoy this degree. University is an amazing time. You're going to meet your lifelong friends. Maybe they will be in your wedding. They will be your best friends for life. So take some time to enjoy with them. It's the only place where you have a bad day and you can just call your friend and be like, let's go for coffee. Come on, let's go. When you work, more. So I think take a breath and enjoy it. And you can do so if you work hard. So thank you guys. If you have any questions, I'll be here at the end.
Thank you so much, Kelsey, for such a lovely and inspirational talk. I believe that everything that you've said, they will also apply it, especially with time management, which is very crucial. If you miss track of time management, it hinders a lot of things and disturbs everything that you might have planned for the semester. So time management is very crucial, and it's very important how you manage time, and planning as well is important, which also includes time management, because at university, there's no time to sleep. The time you're sleeping, others are waking up and going to study and doing other things that they believe will add value to their lives as well. So our next guest speaker so far, Mr. Pewa, you already said.
All good, all good, all good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Greetings, everyone. My name is Dando Pewa, an alumni of University of KwaZulu-Natal from the College of Law and Management Studies. First and foremost, thank you so much, Kesley, for sharing such a profound chat. And also thank you to the FYE team for opening this opportunity, to the first years. Because I think when you know what is it that you should be aiming for, it becomes easy for you, to focus and ensure that throughout your journey, you know exactly what you need to do to achieve. So I'd like for you guys to tap yourself in the back, especially now since you know the color coding of your academic standing in the university. So I trust that everyone will be aiming for blue, which grants you the eligibility for scholarships, and obviously you will try to avoid the purple, which grants you the eligibility to become scholarless. So I hope you're all going to aim for blue. So just a brief background on myself. I joined the University of KwaZulu-Natal back in 2014 for a Bachelor of Commerce in Accounting, where I was attending at University of Durban-Westville. So yeah, my journey had its ups and downs, similar to Kelsey. The first year, one was doing pretty well. We had a broad set of modules that also included other students who are in the commerce field as well. And then obviously in second year, you start to specialize. Obviously there it's a bit, it's a bit more detailed to what you'll be studying in your practical, um, in the practical world. And then obviously in third year, you do not do any non-accounting modules. You focus purely and particularly on the accounting-based module. So the journey wasn't glamorous and straightforward. I remember I ended up completing my degree late, failing for the first time, coming from high school, one of the best students, and then obviously coming to, the university in my third year, having to fail for the first time. So it's important for you to understand that such occurrences will happen, because of the nature of, the university. However, it's important for you to tap into your why. Why are you here? Why are you studying? Why have you enrolled into university? Of which that's where I was able to question that, which was kind of lost in a way, because in university there's a lot that's happening. So that proved to be a blessing for me, because it was a second semester module, which meant that during my first semester I had a lot of time. And then with a lot of time, I ended up obviously, being bored, not even attending. Then I ended up looking for local business people who had businesses where I could volunteer and apply the knowledge that I had. Fortunately, one of the companies that I knocked at hired me to be a consultant to assist them, with the basics, in terms of helping their organization with the admin, with minor bookkeeping, and some consulting as well. So which kind of proved to be a blessing for me, because it gave me a taste of entrepreneurship, and I was able to see the value of the qualification. Mind you, I had not even completed my degree, but I was able to, assist an organization, which quite a few organization at that time. So for me, that kind of showed me, the quality of the qualification at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, that at that time I was able to have like 2 or 3 jobs where I was volunteering at and getting, a stipend at, without even having a qualification. I was able to even land my first flight to Johannesburg without even having a qualification. So that kind of opened my eyes on the quality of the material, the quality of the education, and the quality of the lecturers, who are lecturing us, that when you go out there, people want to work with you. So obviously after coming back, I was able to complete my degree in 2017. And then I came back in 2019, where I wanted now to do my honors, which was a no-brainer for me, because I saw the value of the qualification I'd received at University of KwaZulu-Natal. I'd have went to another institution, went to another province, but because of the value that I received through the University of KwaZulu-Natal, particularly the College of Law and Management Studies, I joined the institution again, where I did my my honors degree, postgraduate degree in management accounting. One of the things that was a highlight for me was the opportunity to do research, to do a qualitative and a quantitative research, which kind of opened my eyes because now you're getting facts, factual data on some of the challenges that are facing, society at large. So I strongly encourage those of you who go on to do your postgraduates, when you get that opportunity to do a research, choose a topic that you are passionate about, because that information goes a long way in preparing you and positioning you as an expert in the field post employment. So I chose small to medium-sized businesses because that's what I was servicing during the time when I had Umlenze, I had an outstanding module. So that allowed me to look into the tax and labor laws that affect small businesses and some of the challenges that they face, of which all of those facts pointed towards what I'm currently doing, which gave birth to the accounting firm KwaZulu-Natal Accountants. That when after I finished my articles, I was able to go back to that research paper that I did because I saw how SMMEs are failing and the reason why they're failing, inability to cope with the labor and tax laws, struggling with your financial management, cash flow, all of which pointed towards not having support of accountants, of which after I completed my articles, I was able to, once I qualified, I was able to start my own accounting practice that today employs 12 people and soon is about to have 2 branches, one here in Durban and another one that is being launched next month in Johannesburg. It kind of shows the quality of the academic knowledge that we receive and how the institution prepares us as professionals. So I strongly encourage you as students that take it seriously. Take the investments that you put in yourself as you study. Don't just look at it as something that your parents are asking you to go study or something that's a requirement for you. I just need to study to get a job. But look at it as the university is investing into you to become a better professional, to become a better person. When you're out there in the marketplace, people would want to work with you because you carry the badge and the qualification of the University of KwaZulu-Natal. So that's what I'd love to just part with you with that, have clear goals, know what is it that you want to do, and assess who are you going to serve with your qualification. Don't just look at what are you going to receive when you are qualified, but look at how are you going to use the qualification that you've received from the university to serve. Because when you serve people, that's where now people would want to pay you money because of what you do for them, not what you get out of them. So that's, in a nutshell, that's me and my journey. I wish you guys all the best, and yeah, I hope that most of you will aim for blue, and I hope that no one of you will have a purple color code, which means that you'll be excluded. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Mr. Pewa, for sharing with us. And I think to myself as well, sometimes when something negative happens, it doesn't mean that there isn't something positive that will come out of it. So having Umlenze, an outstanding module, that's not an easy task and it's not easy to digest, but you're able to get something out of it, to think positively and so that you continue going forward. Thanks so much. And for sharing us, they should tap into their why. It's very important and it's crucial. It's not about moving just for the sake of moving or being into university for the sake of being into university. It's not easy. There are challenges and other difficulties as well. But if you know why you are here and why you want to do this, then surely you'll make it out alive. So thank you so much. And just to add, I think it's very crucial for students as well not to come to university for you become accounting only or become law, but to come say there are other resources at university. So I should learn beyond my degree. I should make use of these resources that are available so that when I come out of university, I have all the knowledge that is required. So thank you so much for sharing with us. And we appreciate all that you've shared with us. And I'm learning something as well. So thank you so much, sir. We have Miss Sibia. I think she's ready. Can you, Miss Sibia, Miss Sibia, will be sharing also with us, who's also an alumni of UKZN, BCom in finance.
Greetings, everyone. I'm truly honored to be invited to speak to at Orientation Week. My name is Nasbia, and I recently completed my undergrad degree, a BCom General, majoring in finance and economics here at UKZN. This year, I'll be furthering my studies with an honors in finance. And today, I've been asked to share my university experience. It was a true adventure, I tell you. Now, if someone had to ask me, did university go the way you imagined, I'd probably laugh and say, absolutely not even close. Nothing could have prepared me for the roller coaster ride that was my undergrad life. From the sleepless nights to unforgettable friendships, and most importantly, the growth I've experienced, this journey was nothing like what I expected, but everything I needed. I still remember my first day on campus, while before I also I was accepted during the times when we were online. And so it took a while for me to go to campus, but I still do remember my first day on campus. And to this day, it makes me laugh because I wasn't ready for the massive buildings, the thousands of students, and the complete chaos of navigating a new environment. The excitement and nerves hit me all at once. I had all this idea that university was going to be all about studying, just me, my books, and the library. But wow, was I wrong? University turned out to be so much more. It was about self-discovery. It was about challenging myself, building meaningful relationships, and also finding balance through my university life. So now I'll take you through the key moments that shaped my university experience. And with that, I'll start with my academic journey. So I've always known.
Okona,
Yes.
I'm so sorry to disturb you. Please, can you share your video if possible? Would like to see you.
Okay. I'm so sorry about that. Is my video on?
Yes, we can see you. Thank you.
So I've always known I wanted to major in economics. So my goal is to become an economist. Unfortunately, in 2021, I struggled to get into the program I wanted. So that led me to do a change of mind into a Bachelor of Administration. So I was happy to be at UKZN, my dream university. But I knew I had to work hard to transfer into what I really wanted to do at first, which was a BCom. And guess what? I did it. Finally, I was exactly where I wanted to be, but then came the next big decision for me, which was what would my second major be? Because I was advised not to double major with economics. And so cool. At first, I chose supply chain, something I thought I'd be able to manage. And when I chose it with the mindset of, okay, I do not want to do something difficult. I want to be able to balance. Okay, so then when in December 2022, I started doing my research. That was when I was going to my third year. So I started doing my research as to what exactly I wanted to do. And then I spoke to an economist who was a former UKZN student as well, and she advised me to switch to finance because apparently finance and economics is a good combination when choosing majors. So now I was scared. I had heard all the horror stories about finance being difficult, and I wasn't sure I was good enough at maths. But after a lot of research, I decided to take the leap. And do I regret it now? Absolutely not. My final year, I fell in love with finance thanks to my amazing lecturers. And so the lesson learned: always do research, ask questions, and trust yourself. So one thing about university work, it is demanding. You have to be dedicated from day one. attend classes, go to tutorials, and use all the academic support available. I always emphasized the importance of consulting with the lecturers, early to my mentees. So don't wait until the night before an exam to realize you don't understand something. Do your work and tackle your difficulties as they come. So speaking of struggles, can we talk about one module that truly showed me flames? And that was quantitative economics. And that was my third year, 2023. So I remember calling my mom in full panic mode, convinced I wouldn't be able to survive it. But she encouraged me, and slowly I started to believe in myself. And guess what? I passed. So this module taught me that fear is normal, but it should never hold you back. So if you go into university, it means you're capable. And so never doubt that. And also, one of the most difficult things you face in varsity are the group assignments. So finding the right group can make or break your experience. So now this is my personal experience regarding group assignments, which really, it was one of the most devastating experiences I had with group assignments, but most of them were really good. So last year we had a group assignment where I ended up doing most of the work alone. So I did that to protect my grades because I knew that I wanted to do well, and so I had to really just do what I had to do. So my advice to everyone when choosing groups for group assignments is that choose wisely. Get to know your peers, get to know who's in your class, so you'll know who takes their work as serious as you do. Lastly, aim high. Your grades really matters. So at the back of my mind, when I was doing my undergrad, I always wanted to have good results. So I always aimed high when doing my tests, and before semester starts, I used to write down my goals for each module, thinking about my capabilities as well. So my advice to you is to also do something like that. So lesson learned through my academic journey is that resilience was resilient. So push through no matter what. So next is going to be what I'll talk about next is going to be student involvement. So some of you may be asking what I mean by student involvement. So that means joining clubs and societies in the university. They shape you a lot and bring growth to you outside academics. Kelsey did mention that as well. So one of the best decisions I made was joining different clubs and societies in the university. Well, for most, I was a general member until I was pushed by a friend to apply for an executive position, of which I did. And then I was able, and I was accepted to be the finance and investment director for it. And that is ABSIB, ABSIB UKZN, which is an association of Black securities and investment professionals. So this experience gave me real world exposure, which no classroom would provide me. So as the investment and finance director, I was required to host events around anything finance, workshops under my position, and mostly required to be very hands-on in the organization. About financing my position, but most importantly, leadership, teamwork, and responsibility. So this was one of my highlights in university. It pushed me to get out of my shell. I was usually fine with the back and not participating in the front and not putting myself out there. So with ABSIB, I took that mindset off my mind and grew to always put myself out there and to challenge myself. So one of my highlights as a finance and investment director of ABSIB was the one-day trip we took to Sandton to attend the Economics Youth Indaba event, which was an event that entirely changed my life. I built networks, learned a lot from well-established people in the industry, and showed how much, and the event showed me how much I have to work hard in my career. So I remember the following month I was going to be hosting an event and I needed a speaker. I did not know that one of the speakers I wanted to speak at the event was going to be there. And to my surprise, he was there and I was able to speak to him and invite him to speak at the event. And so, guys, don't be the girl at the back. Involve yourself. Show that you're there. Join something. Play sports. Join a cultural group. Basically, find what speaks to you at the university outside academics. You never know what doors it might open. I encourage every student to step out of their comfort zone and explore what university has to offer. There are lots. These experiences are not for fun as well, but they are also for your career. Trust me, when you look back, these experiences will be some of the most valuable parts of your journey. So one of the best parts of universities are the friendships you make. I met people who supported me through tough times, who celebrated my wins, and who reminded me that I was never alone. So university is difficult, but it's even harder if you do it alone. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Your circle matters. I learned this the hard way. In my first year, I barely made any friends. By my second year, I realized how much I needed a support system. So to everyone here who's going to be joining UKZN, talk to people, try and get to know people, and you'll see how much that'll have a good effect in your university life at large. And so now let's talk about the important things in university is balance. So the amount of workload sometimes is too much that you forget about life outside your books. For some, the party life becomes so fun that they forget why they even came to university. And so balance is one of the most difficult things for university students. For me, balance was very difficult. From being a student to participating in clubs, as well as having a job, also trying to rest in between, all that consumed me. At some point, I was having difficulty juggling all that I was doing. However, as time went, I tried to find balance. For school, I created timetables that guided my study time, and for work, I put aside time for it. And in between all that, I would give myself time to rest. Now, guys, resting isn't sleeping. Resting is doing something that'll calm your mind outside the busyness of life, like going for a walk, doing a sport that you like, reading a book, or simply just spending time with your friends. At the end of it all, you really do not want to crash out, and so definitely do try to find balance. So success isn't about good grades only. It's about a healthy well-being, happiness, and fulfillment. Lastly, let's get into overcoming challenges and key lessons learned. University wasn't always easy. There were moments of doubt, of failure, of feeling completely lost. But looking back, I wouldn't change any of it. Why? Because every challenge taught me something. With resilience, you will fail at some things, but failure is not the end. It's a lesson. Adaptability. Life doesn't always go as planned, but you learn to adjust and move on. And lastly, confidence. University taught me to believe in myself even when I felt unsure. So if you're struggling right now, know that you're not alone. And more importantly, know that you'll get through it. Keep pushing, keep believing in yourself, and trust that the hard work will pay off. Now, as I'm here today, looking back on my university, I realized that it was never just about the degree. It was about the experiences, the growth, the friendships, and the lessons that shaped me into the person I am today. So if you take one thing from what I've said today, make the most out of your university experience. Get involved in clubs and societies, build friendships, and surround yourself with people who will uplift you. Take care of your mental and physical health. Embrace the challenges. They are shaping you for the future, because one day you look back on these years and realize that this was where your story truly began. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, Ms. Bia, and thank you so much. I think what our guests have been sharing so far is that you do your research, believe in yourself and have confidence, and also involve yourself in different aspects to get to know more about yourself and to discover your talents and abilities as well. And don't look at every setback or obstacle as something, or as every challenge as a setback or obstacles, but rather look for areas of opportunities within the same setback and opportunity. Thank you so much. And this is the end of our alumni. We don't have any alumni so far, and guests, over to you.
Thank you, Mkhulisi. Mkhulisi, thank you. If you could please put up the PowerPoint presentation I just sent to you. So while Mkhulisi or Bongeka, either one of you can put up the PowerPoint presentation I've just sent, I really want to thank our lovely alumni, Kelsey Buchanan, Intando Pewa, Akona Sibia. You were inspirational, you were warm, you provided insight, and you can see a lot of the love and hand clapping, and they just enjoyed the presentation. So I want to, Bongeka, I'm seeing the presentation up in Mkhulisi. So I just want to conclude with that because we do have some time. And I want to know, I see Malebo. While the presentation is coming up, Malebo, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Ayanda, if you can see her, her hand is up. Maleboho Motiang. You can unmute yourself. Ayanda, can you unmute her?
Okay, Prim.
Okay, thanks, Bongeka. I see the screen is coming up. Okay, well, we'll just keep her muted for a moment, Ayanda. Let me just do the presentation, and then we'll definitely go to it. I should be done by 11:30, so there'll be enough time for questions, etc.
Okay, no problem.
Students, this is the academic thanks, Ayanda. Students, this is the academic policy that I was alluding to earlier from when I started off the introduction. We're going to look at a PowerPoint presentation. As I said, I'm trying not to scare you, but you need to be made aware of what is at stake here, your future, your academic success. So we're going to look at the academic monitoring and support policy, and it's going to be illustrated in the form of the robot system, since you all know about our traffic lights. Green to go, you've been a good green student, a student and good academic standing. I want you to be better than a good academic standing student, which is the green one, and I'll show you in a moment what I mean by that. You know, we all want you to become blue because we want you to be Dean's Common students. So that I will highlight. We don't want any of the other colors. We don't want orange, red, or purple. Thanks, Bongeka. You've been a star. You can go to the next slide. Thank you, Bongeka. Slide number 2. You can shift it down, please. Right. Now, this diagram is quite complicated. And so I'm not going to spend time digesting this and explaining it to you and unpacking it for you. It is in your college handbook. I told you pages 11 from pages to I think 13, I said. Make notes, please. When your lectures speak, you should be making notes all the time. So this diagram is there, but it is quite complicated. So Bongeka, we're going to go to the next, please. And we're going to focus more. Thank you, Bongeka. We're going to focus more on this slide. This example of a progression table is in the college handbook. It's under each of your degree programs. And that was your homework given to you yesterday and today to find your degree program, which is your qualification, in the handbook. It is there. It's about 3 to 5 pages, depending which degree you registered for, a 3-year or a 4-year degree. It's in your handbook. Please find your curriculum. Once you find your curriculum in the college handbook, it's like a treasure chest. Find your curriculum, find the hidden curriculum. It's there. you'll see an example of a progression table. Now, this example of a progression table is for a 3-year degree. Usually, it looks like a BCom General degree, and it's an example of a BCom General progression table. So I want to highlight the number of semesters. As I told you, semester 1 is the first half of the year, February to the end of June, July, your 3-week break. Semester 2, as you see, the first column will be the last week of July to the end of October, and then November are your exams, and then usually around December, middle of December to January, you run a break again. So semester 1 and semester 2 equals a full academic year. So this is your 2025 academic year. It comprises semester 1, semester 2. Now I'm going to shift to normal progression, which is the next column and the next heading. You'll see in semester 1, there are 80 points, which means 80 credit points. Each of your modules will have a specific credit load. Usually most modules have a 16 credit load, which means 16 equals 160 notional hours of study time. So when you see 16 in your college handbook under your degree and under your module, I'll use a module, for example, again, I'll use Accounting 101, level 1 module, Accounting 101, which is a first-year module. It will say 16 credits, which means 160 hours of study time that you have to set aside in order to pass that module, okay? So if you total up your 5 modules for the BCom General degree in this case, let's use an example of Economics 101 is also 16 credits, so it's 160 hours of study time you have to set aside for this module for semester 1. And remember, you usually have on average 5 modules per semester. For the BCom General degree, which I'm looking at right now on the screen, it's 5 modules for semester 1, 5 modules for semester 2. So 16 times 5, all of you mathematicians in the house, should give us 80 credits. So that means 800 hours of study time. So pin that down, 800 hours of study time that you set aside for semester 1. Semester 2, we're looking at 160, which means we're just doubling it because we've added the 80 from semester 1, plus the 80 for semester 2, which would be 160 hours of study time. So I'm just only focusing on first year. You will logically work out your second year will be semesters 3 and 4, which then gives us, under normal progression, 2 to 4. We're adding cumulatively, so we're adding. So 80 plus 80 for semester 1 and 2 is 160. We then move to semester 3, which is you are now in your second year. It's the following year. Your following year is 2026, your academic year for 2026 next year. Semester 3, we're adding another 80. Well, it depends. You have to look at your curriculum. In this case, it is a BCom General curriculum I'm looking at, 224 credits. Semester 4, 288 credits, right? Usually, as I believe our lovely alumni said, our LLB alumni, in your third year for the BCom General degree, you're in semester 5 and 6. That will be 2025, 26, 27. That'll be 2027. In advance, you'll be now at 352 credits for semester 5. That's your third year. And you will be 416 credits in the second semester of your third year. So that's 3 years. 1 year. Semester 3 and 4 is 2 years. Semester 5 and 6, 3 years. You have 416 credits. 416, actually, how many hours is that? You all will work it out, right? Of study time. What this means is, if you look at the normal progression, that's what we want to see. You are completing your degree in the regulated, stipulated time frame. Now, this links very closely to NSFAS. Some of you are NSFAS. I think a lot of students at UKZN are funded by NSFAS, which means the taxpayer, myself, your parents, your aunts, your grandparents, your neighbors, anybody and everybody who is a taxpayer in this country is funding your studies if you're an undergraduate student, which you all are. Bar a few of you who have got private funding from companies or bursaries or scholarships or parents, right? Remember, if you don't pass, NSFAS may be taken away from you. Your funding will be gone. That should immediately raise red flags for you. You all should be worried right now. And it's good. This is a good worry. It's a good positive worry. You've been forewarned to forearm yourself. Try to stay as a passing student. Now I'm going to move to green, which is the next column, and I want you to be better than green. I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to go to orange and red because you're not even going to go there. The green says minimum progression for good academic standing. So you're going to be a green student if, for example, semester 1 we're looking at, it's got 64 credits. What that means is, out of your 5 modules for a BCom general qualification, you've passed 4 out of the 5, which is good. We're not saying it's bad, but it is not excellent. Excellent means you've passed 5 out of 5 of your modules, and then you've got your full 80 credit load. You've means normal progression. I want you all to focus on normal progression. Do not go to minimum progression for good academic standing. We don't want you to go there. We want you to be a normal progressing student, which means you'll finish your 3-year degree in 3 years' time and your 4-year degree in 4 years' time. The minute you start becoming a green student, although it says good academic standing, it is not excellent. You now are taking an additional year to complete your degree. So your 3-year degree now becomes a 4-year degree. Or your 4-year degree now becomes a 5-year degree. Now we're starting to worry about funding. Who is going to fund this additional year? So again, stick to the normal progression, which means stick to the handout you were given. Ways to achieve success in your studies. I've asked all of you to download those handouts, plus the college handbook you had to download, plus the sessional dates for 2025 you had to download. Download it now. You can review it this afternoon. Thanks. And I want to show you the worst case scenarios. I don't want to, but we're just going to look at 10 semesters. You can already see I don't even want to say it. I'm trying not to say it. But if you go down to 10 semesters, it means your 3-year degree has now become a 5-year degree. It has taken you, instead of 3 years to get your qualification, it's taken you 5 years. And again, there are worries about funding. Also, the other worry is when companies want students, they request your academic record. They don't want to see you doing a 3-year degree over 4 years or 5 years. It shows that you may not be as dedicated, as committed, as disciplined. They want the best students to work for them. As our lovely alumni alluded to, they want the top people. Now, top people means getting a 3-year degree in 3 years' time, even if it means you pass every module at 50%. We'll be fine with that. We don't want you to stick with that. We want you to pursue a 60% average and above. We want that from you. You should want that of yourself. And that's what companies try your best, always aim for a 60% average in all your modules. A lot of study time, a lot of discipline, and a lot of sacrifice. Thanks, Bongeka. We'll move to the next slide. Thank you. Thanks, Bongeka. Right, the categories. Blue, exceptional academic performance. Stay here. You're the Dean's Com student. You're the 75% student. You the summa cum laude, magna cum laude, which is actually higher, 80%, 85, 90% when you become cum and summa and magna cum laude. You don't have to worry about all those other categories I've stated. You aim to be a Dean's Commendation student. We'd like you though. From your normal color, you all right now, you all can become blue. You all can become like that movie Avatar. Some of you pronounce it as AVATAR. You all become blue. Anything else, no, orange or purple. We just want you to be yourselves, pass all your modules, 3-year degree in 3 years, a 4-year degree in 4 years. And yes, we want you to become blue. You can get those bursaries and scholarships and the companies will want you. Any company in the world will want you. Thanks, Bongeka. We can go to the next slide. Blue. I'm going to read it for you. Earning a Dean's Commendation by achieving a 75% weighted average for a full load of modules taken in the latest semester, which is the last semester. So for example, you'll be doing semester 1 this year. It will start next week, Monday. It will conclude officially. Your lecture timetable will conclude end of May. You'll be in your exams in June. By around July 12th, 15th, you will get your academic results on Student Central. Your mentors will show you what and how to get to Student Central. If you've gotten a weighted average for all your 5 modules, it's 75%, providing no individual module mark was less than 60%. So try and push for that 75%. In fact, aim for 85%. This is university level, and you most likely will get 80 or 75%. So you overshoot your achievement level. You don't aim for 75% in your study efforts, you aim for 85% in your study efforts. Most likely you'll either may get 85%, you may get 80%, most likely you'll get your 75%. So overshoot the mark you want. So we want you to become blue. We have no problem with all of you becoming blue. We'd love it if you all became blue. Thanks, Bongeka. We can go to the next slide. I'm not going to talk about green because we don't want green people. Go to the next slide, please, Bongeka. Orange, you will not be becoming orange. Next slide, please, Bongeka. Red, this means probation. You are about to be excluded. You are not going near. Next slide, please, Bongeka. Purple. Now, I'm going to read this one. I don't want to, but I'm going to read it. After all those codes, green or orange or red, eventually you can be readmitted on final probation. And if you still are not successful, despite going for your lectures, your TATs, your precs, your SI sessions, you formed a study group, you studied independently, you consulted with your lecturers, your tutors, your SI leaders, you've done everything, you then will be excluded. Now, exclusion holds for 4 semesters. That means 2 years. If you are excluded, you will have to wait for 2 years before you can be invited to come back. And the sad reality is, it says at the bottom there, readmission will be at the college's discretion. What this means is, remember, every year we are receiving matriculants. So as you can see from our lovely alumni, they've now graduated. They've all passed first year, second year, third year, fourth year. Maybe some are moving to honors, masters, and PhDs, which we need. And the reason we all have to pass, and you all have to pass, we are waiting to receive our 2025 matriculants who are sitting this year. They'll be the first years next year. We cannot have students right now keeping places and res places and occupying those residence places. It's a very selfish attitude. And I know none of you are selfish, because some of you have your younger brothers and sisters, you have friends who are coming through. You want them to also come through next year. You want them to have residence rooms. You want them to be able to experience the joy of a university life, both the academic life and the social life. So in order to be fair and to be kind and to be generous to the upcoming matriculants, you will all be passing to release residence rooms, to release the seats in the lecture venues to allow our first years to come through. So what this means is, if you are excluded and you are invited, you're told you can try and apply, there may not be an opening for you because we have to admit our first years in. There may not be. In 5 years' time or 6 years' time, you return after being excluded. We've got matriculants coming through every year. We have to give them placement first. So think really carefully about what I'm saying. Focus on your studies. Get your 3-year done in 3 years, your 4-year degree done in 4 years, so you allow other students to come through to the university. And those of you who want to stay into postgrad and want to stay here, we'd love to have you. Honors, masters, PhD, we need you and we want you. Thank you, Bongeka. You can move to the next screen. I'm not going to cover these codes. You can see the orange, red, and purple. None of you are going there. Next slide, please. Right, support for students. Again, I've given you all the documents, download them. I've also asked Mkhulisi, he's our FYE administrator. He's been sent all the documents. He will send it to your email. He's got your student email. So if some of you cannot download those documents, I've put into the chat box, the Zoom chat box. I see some of you are struggling when I've been reviewing it. Mkhulisi will send all those documents to you this week, right? So keep an eye out. It will come from Mkhulisi. Support for students. You know there's study skills through the SI sessions, supplemental instruction sessions. Time management also will be discussed in SI sessions. Some of you will be doing information systems and technology. You gain your computer literacy skills. And your written the documents give you the writing place coordinators details in office. Ms. Surenta Naidu. It's there in the doc. Some of you have downloaded it. Your academic support skills, your academic language and writing skills, that will be done by the writing place. Your exam techniques, possibly definitely by the SI sessions, the study sessions, as well as maybe your tutorials, and you can do a Google search on study skills to help you along. Also, your exam techniques and study skills, my apologies, it's in the FYE curriculum. That's in Unit 2. Everything to do with academic skills development, Unit 2 of your FYE curriculum, which Professor Anna highlighted, needs to be completed this year in order to be degree complete. Additional lectures, tutorials, and practicals, this will be hosted and facilitated by either lecturers, tutors, or SI leaders in order for you to enable relearning and possibly reassessment of content. You have your lecturers during consultation times available. Tutors, you can ask about any content-related queries, as well as your FYE mentors. They've done the modules that you are doing this year. Ask them to help you with any academic issues or any social issues. You will be assigned a mentor. Mkhulisi will be sending you details of those mentors as well. It will come directly to your email as well. Social and wellness skills, stress management. I highlighted student support services. You've got the document. You've got all the details there. It says support services in the College of Law and Management Studies. You've got their website link. You've got their email to make an appointment with their administrator at Student Support Services. You've got even the online a website of them where you can go online and make a booking with Student Support Services for stress management, anxiety management, anything to do with financial well-being, anything to do with career counseling. You've got that handout. Again, Mkhulisi will be sending it to you if you cannot download it. Clinical health and counseling interventions, any personal problems, grief counseling, death in the family, unfortunately, financial concerns, relationship issues. Please, this goes to Student Support Services. Again, you've got the document. Please download those documents. It will also be sent to you by Mkhulisi. And those of you who are off campus, remember there's a clinic on campus for all 3 campuses, Westville, Maritzburg, and Howard College. The details again and the document that you're downloading. Please consult with the clinic, our campus clinics. There are nurses there. They will see to your medical needs. If you are diabetic, high blood pressure, there's an HIV and AIDS unit. There's also a disability support unit. It's all available. It's in the handout that I've asked you to download and again will be sent to you. If you do the campus services, remember they're available. They are free. You get your contraceptions there. You get family planning there. You get any needs, it's there. If they cannot help you, they will refer you to go to a public or a private hospital or a public or a private primary healthcare clinic where you are staying off campus if they cannot assist you. Please, the next slide, I've discussed with you supplemental instruction leaders for your SI study sessions for high impact modules where students tend to underperforming. I've discussed that with you. You know, you get your academic mentors, which are your FYE mentors. For math, you'll find for math and stats, there will also be SI sessions for math and stats. And they have in the mathematics and the statistics department, which is in the College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science. They have what's termed hot seat tutors. Make use of all the math tutors, math and stats SI sessions, and math and stats hot seat tutors. You need to find that out from your lecturer in math and stats. It should be in the course outline that you will receive on Monday. All your modules will have a course outline. It should outline where are the tutors, where are the hot seat tutors, where are the lecturers' consultation times on your course outlines. I've mentioned the writing centers. You've got the detail about the writing place. There's a writing place on Howard College for both law and management studies modules, as well as College of Humanities. You'll be doing some of your modules, particularly for the law students. Some of your modules will be hosted by the College of Humanities. You'll see towards the end of your college handbook, you'll find the College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science. That will show you the math and stats modules there. For especially LLB degree and the BCom general degree. As some of you want to choose sociology, psychology, English studies, isiZulu studies, you'll find the syllabus. Right, it'll be the College of Humanities. You'll find those modules there, all linked to your degree program. You've got your peer mentors, you have residence tutorials, psychosocial and psychological counseling is by the student support services. You've got the handout, career counseling, both the lecturers can provide career counseling as well as student support services. I've mentioned the campus clinics on each campus. If they cannot help with your medical needs, diabetes, HIV, TB, high blood pressure, etc., they will refer you to an off-campus public or private medical health facility. And finally, we have a disability support unit on each of the campuses. If you're hard of hearing, if you have difficulty seeing, if you need to have specialized support, which provides reasonable accommodation, such as maybe an increased font size, have a magnifying glass, you need to visit the disability support unit. And I'm going to stop there because I see it's 11:43. And we're going to leave this, this slide up for the time being. And I'm now going to ask Bongeka to unmute herself and ask her question. And I want you to please respond. Listen to her question and please respond, Bongeka.
Thank you, Ms. Naidu. So my question is, what are the 2 non-credit modules that are compulsory for every first year in 2025 to do? 2 modules.
Oh dear. Percival, I saw.
Okay, let me just check the responses on the chat.
Thanks, Ayanda. Ayanda will check. So while she's checking, take your time. Don't rush, Ayanda. You take your time. Mkulisi will help you, and Anna will help, and Ayanda will help. So don't worry. Take your time. We need one individual. Take your time. Okay. Thank you, Bongeka. You can put off your screen. I will ask. I see what's her name is left. So I'm going to jump to Intando. Intando, hi, Intando. If you could ask your question, you can put on your screen, and then we'll keep an eye out as well for Intando's, for the students' responses. Thanks, Intando. Go for it.
Okay, thanks, Prim. My question is to the students. Faculty did I study at when I was doing my undergrad? Thank you.
Which faculty did Intando study at when he was doing his undergrad? So please, if you could keep an eye out on the first response, and Intando, just check as well, just your question that it is correct. What was the answer though? What was the correct answer, Intando? Which faculty was it?
College of Law and Management Studies.
Okay, so what the answer should be College of Law and Management Studies for Intando. Please look at that, because we moved from faculties to colleges a few years ago. So maybe when Intando said faculty, some of you were thrown. So it's the College of Law and Management Studies, the first person for Intando's question. Thanks, Intando. Thank you for that.
Thanks,
And then I
Karen.
see, thanks, Intando. I would like to have Corner, if you could please switch on your camera, dear. And if you could ask a question related to what you were chatting to, just one question. We are awarding gifts just to 3 individuals here who were paying attention in Tando. Just one question. If you could put on your camera for us, please, so we could see you. Is it Akona? Akona? If we could see you, please. Where are you, Akona? Akona. Ayanda, she's still there? Is Akona still there?
Let me just double check, Prim.
I see her there, but she's muted. Akona, can you hear me? If you could ask a question, any question about one question. If they were paying attention, Akona, they should be able to answer your one question. Thanks, Akona. You can put on your video. Brilliant, I see you. I can't hear you, darling. Try again. Can you type your question in the chat box? I can't hear you. I don't know if it's only me. Ayanda, can you hear her?
I don't know, her line is very bad. I think I'll just message her to ask her to type the question.
Yeah, please. Intando, sorry, dear. We can't hear you. You are breaking up very badly, Intando. Please type your question in the chat box and we'll look out for an answer. Please, dear. Yeah, I thought it was only on my side. If you could just, type it in the chat box there. Can't hear you still. I can't hear you.
I think I'll just mute her.
Thank you. Thank you. Bongeka, did you manage to see?
So sorry about that.
It's okay. Bongeka, did you manage to find the student who answered your question correctly? Do you have a name for us? Bongeka? Have you managed yet? Do you need some more time? Intando, did you manage to find the student? I don't know if you were able to find the student, Intando, for your response. Intando?
Let me just double check.
Check again. Thank you. Double
Just to
check in the
ensure,
meantime. That's fine.
just to
That's
ensure that.
absolutely fine. Take your time. No rush. We've got time.
Okay.
I'm trying to see. I can't see while you're doing that. I'm trying to see. I can't see. I can't. Yes.
I'll suggest while we wait, we
Yes.
can perhaps take some hands that have been going up.
Sure. Go for it.
Announce the
Thanks,
winners.
Ayanda. Thanks.
Okay, so I have 3 hands that are up. The first one is Chandray. Chandray, if you could please unmute yourself and ask the question you wish to ask. Chandray, are you still with us? Okay, it seems we are going to move on. Percival, you are up next. Please unmute your mic.
Yes, Percival. Go for it.
Okay, I have a question with regards to the social.
Go ahead.
So do the lessons clash with our normal lessons?
none of your modules as a first-year student should clash. So if they are clashing, once you've done your timetable, I'm going to ask, I see Dr. Jerry's disappeared, but I will then ask him the minute I see him again.
I'm here.
Yes, Joseph, go for it. Thanks, Dr. Jerry. Oh,
Prim,
there's-
I think
yes.
I can answer that one. So with the social justice module, yes, it's possible that there might be clashes. So if you're having clashes on your social justice module, what you can do is, I think on the Moodle page, they will have details of the coordinators of that module. So you can make arrangements, in terms of maybe to change the block, or you can also just maybe do it in the second semester. So if you're having a clash now, you can always do it in the second semester, but also they will provide details of who are the course coordinators. You can talk to them about changing your block. But I understand there have been quite a number of cases where the students have had clashes with the CSJ module.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, colleagues. Ntando, did you wish to add on to something? I see your hand is up.
Thanks for that. I was able to identify who was the first respondents to
Great.
the answer. It's Kheti Giane, if I'm pronouncing it right.
Please type it in the chat box for us. Anna and Kolisi will take note, Bongeka. Please type it up for us in the chat box. We're 100%. Thanks, Intando. You're a star.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, there's a Kethi Tijiane. Oh my gosh. Yes, Kethi. Oh my gosh. Okay, Kethi Tijiane for Intando. Thanks, Intando. Thanks. Okay. Thank you. Percival, Ayanda, you can continue, but I see Percival's hand is still up. Do you want to put your hand down, Percival? Is it an old hand?
I think that must have been an old hand. I will go with Kiara up next. Kiara, please unmute your mic to ask your question.
Hi, I just wanted to find out, I didn't select any isiZulu modules during my registration, and I didn't take isiZulu in high school. What do I need to do to add them to my curriculum?
Joseph, I'd like you to take that, please. Thank you.
What was the question again?
Zulu. She hasn't done Zulu. Yes, Kiara, go ahead, dear.
I didn't do isiZulu in high school, and I didn't select any isiZulu modules during registration. I want to know what do I need to do to add them to my curriculum.
Okay, so you need to actually pick up a change of curriculum form where you can add this.
Okay.
Yes, you can get that from the university website.
Okay, so I have to apply for a change of curriculum.
Yes, you need to do that. Yeah, to add it there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Joseph. So, Kiara, you need to get a change of curriculum form. If you go to the Fresh Desk portal, and if you put your request through the Fresh Desk portal and request a change of curriculum form, it should come through to you, right? So the Fresh Desk portal, put in your request there and it should come through to you. If that's one way of doing it. Thanks. And it's on the university website, as explained. Ayanda, next question, please.
Okay, so we don't have much hands that are up. We're just going to take two more. And I also see that our colleagues from PR office have been assisting with answering some questions on the chat box. So I am going to go next with Blake. Blake, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, ma'am. I was busy trying to do my timetable yesterday, and I'm not sure if there's an error, but the online timetables that we were shown in yesterday's webinar have 11 slots, and the template that we were given has 10. So I'm not sure if that's a clash, or an error. I'm not sure how that would be possible.
So, say that again. Where did you get the one that has got 11 slots?
online, the UKZN timetable website, sir.
I don't, Blake, let me not quickly rush to answer that question. Just give me time to confirm. Maybe they've changed, but as far as I've known, we've always used that timetable. You see, if you look at the timetable that has got 10 slots, it's got 45-minute periods from 7:45 up until 4:45. So what time, if the one that you had has got 11 slots, what time does the day end?
I'm not sure, sir, but there is a slot beginning at 4:45 in the afternoon on the online timetable. So I'm not sure if that's the mistake, but it's possible.
If I would say just use the one that I gave you.
Okay, no, yes, I understand that, sir, but we need to create our timetables from the online ones that we're given. And some of the, as I said, they have 11 slots, which interferes with some of the, I believe, ISTN 1 and 2 both have their tutorials or practicals. Their fourth slot, it's a 4-section tutorial.
It's a 4-period. Yes,
yes,
it's a 4-period.
and the last one ends in the 11 slots, which supposedly starts at 4:45. So I'm not sure if we then move it up a slot to accommodate the 10 periods of 45 minutes, or I'm at a loss, sir.
Okay, no, don't worry. I think it's just an understanding issue because the timetable should have 10 periods. So what happens is that that's just, remember those 4 slots, like I explained yesterday for the practical, is just to give every student an opportunity to be able to sit somewhere where there'll be a demonstrator to help them out should they have a problem. You can do those practicals alone at home. You can do those practicals in the prac, and you don't have to sit through all of those 4 periods, okay? So that's just an opening where you can go in at any time during that particular time to do your practicals. So you shouldn't really worry about that. But your slots, your timetable periods for the university should be 10. It starts at 7:45 and it ends at 4:45 in the afternoon. So there could be an extension. Remember also the lands don't close. So we could, the lands could be open. We could run it up until 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It really doesn't matter because that's your period to just go and sit into in the lands. But your lectures will range from 7:45 in the morning up until 4:45 in the afternoon. That's when your lecture periods end. And those have been segmented into 10 periods. So if it's just a practical period for ISTN, don't worry about that. If, for instance, you have a class, you've got a lecture at that time, you can also do it at home. You can do the practical at home. Just make sure you get into the LAN early and show the demonstrator that you've done your work, and then you can, go on to whatever other lecture you have. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Sure.
Much appreciated
If
for your
you're
help.
having any problems, you can send me an email on jeren@ukzn.ac.za.
Sorry, so you said it's jeren@ukzn.ac.za.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Okay, thanks so much for that, Joseph. Ayanda, we've got 2 minutes left. And before we go to the next student, Bongeka, do you have your winner, Bongeka? I see she's disappeared. Do you have your winner yet for us to announce the winner, Bongeka?
Yes, we have a winner. We sent the name on the chat.
Say it out loud for us, dear.
It's Kiera Chand. I'm so sorry about the pronunciation.
Just spell it for us again, and Kiera, message that you've received it. Just say it again first, Bongeka.
Kiera, it's Dipchand.
Dipchand. Kiera Dipchand, please send us a note there. Thanks. And then who did we leave out for the question? So Bongeka, you've answered in Tando. Akona, did you write your question in the chat box? I don't know if you wrote it, and did somebody respond?
Yes, I did write it. I just wrote it.
Perfect. Who was your first one? Thank you. You're coming through clear now. Who was the first person who responded to you? Thanks.
No one has responded yet.
Say it out loud. Give us the question out
So,
loud.
Which club was I part of, and what was my executive position in it?
Which club was Akona a part of, and what was her executive position? So which club did she join, and what was her executive position? Okay, if we could, and then if we could look at those responses, Akona, if you could throw your eyes there. But while we're getting some responses, what is the answer? Because we do have people coming through, but what is the answer? Did you see it there at least, the answer, Akona? Do you see it?
I didn't, but
Not yet. Not yet. Wait. I still see financial executive, Indaba events. I'm seeing a lot of things there. Okay, take your time. We're over 12, but just keep your eye out, Akona. Did you still see it? Not yet. So while we
they kind of have an idea. I think they didn't
Okay.
hear properly. It's
That's fine.
abstract.
So perfect. So you take your time, choose a name that you suits best your question, and I'll be going to the next hand that's raised. So take your time, Akona. Choose a person you feel is closest to what you feel is correct. Thanks, Ayanda.
I was going to suggest that since we are running out of time, perhaps we could direct the leftover questions to maybe our administrator, Polisi or Bongega, who can be able to assist students going forward. Perhaps you could just go ahead with finally just announcing all the students that are winners, and then we can close off the session.
Okay, so Intando, if you could announce your winner yet again to us, please. Thank you. Just announce your winner again to us, for us.
It's Kheti Gianni.
Thank you so much. Kheti Gianni, thank you. Bongeka. Thank you, Intando. Bongeka, your winner?
It's Kiara.
Kiara Dipchand, I believe. Thank you. And I don't know if you've seen your winner finally, Akona. Do you have your winner there? Somebody closest, please, Akona. You could announce your winner.
It's Jace. His surname, I don't know if it's a he or she, but it's, oh, someone got it. It's Mpile Moreko. Mpile
Moreko. Again fast.
Mpile Moreko.
Okay, thank you. Impile or Impilo Moreko. Forgive my pronunciation, please. There's an Impile Moreko to everyone. Yeah, you the third winner. So we've got our 3 winners, right? Thank you so much. Anna, would you like to conclude, please, Anna? Thank you.
All right, thank you, colleagues. Thank you for the presentation, and thank you to our students for your patience. Tomorrow's session, you will be in your respective schools. So if you are registered for law, it means tomorrow's session you attend the session for the School of Law. If you are registered for the BCom Accounting, you will attend the session for the BCom Accounting. And if you are for SEF, so if you are registered for the BCom Accounting, Finance and Economics, if you are registered for the BCom General, you attend the session for the School of Information Technology and Governance. So tomorrow's session will be divided into the different schools. We will not be meeting together here. See you once again on Thursday. Thursday we'll be addressing everything to do with ICS, all the questions that you have, some which you have been sending us, what's happening to the data, more details on, emails, logins, and so on. And then on Friday, as we mentioned, we will be focusing on student wellness. So that's all from us for today. And thank you so much, everyone, our panelists, our alumni, our mentors. We want to thank you for taking this time to come and address the students. And to our colleagues at Public Relations, also thank you for facilitating this.
Okay, we have come to the end of today's session. See you tomorrow in the different schools.